Yeah, that helps the light. All right, let me see if we're up here. Starting broadcast on limited Wi-Fi and not so great light. Good morning, Periscope. Just getting up on Facebook here. Who's online this morning? I'm on a little bit earlier than normal. So thanks if you caught my alert this morning. I actually didn't plan this out super well last week when I announced that I would be on this week because I am in Toronto and have to be on a train at noon today. But good morning and nice to see you guys on here a little bit early. So I'm up on Facebook on the brand page, but the Wi-Fi might not be so great. So we'll just see if we're working on both streams. But really great to be with you guys this morning. Happy Wednesday. Hi, Marcy. Nice to have you on. You like this earlier time, you guys? Cool. Well, I will make note of that. Last week on the broadcast, I did share that this was going to be the last Q&A for the summer. So I'll be back in September, and I'll be on and off throughout the summer. I'm sure doing various things. We're building a home, as some of you know, so we're in the final stage of that. And so I'd love to take you guys on a home tour and show you some of the healthy choices we made for the home. It's been a fun process. It's been a little bit stressful. Those of you that have built homes know exactly what I'm talking about. But I'm here in Toronto. I'm here with one of my great friends, Megan. Come on over. Right. We're in our room. We went to see MKOTB last night, Boys to Men and Paula Abdul. And
it was awesome.
It was so good, right?
It was so good.
What was your we talked about it this morning, but we they were very much in their element, as were we. But it really struck us how
they owned it. They owned it.
Yeah.
It didn't matter. They were a boy band from the 80s, and they still rocked it.
Just didn't care that, they're older. Are they in their 50s now?
No!
Paula Abdul.
Paula Abdul's in her 50s.
Paula Abdul is 55, and she rocked it, you guys. She was so good.
It was awesome.
So,
fun night.
Yeah, very, very fun. So we're here in our hotel. We're heading back home on the train this afternoon. But so anyway, so happy to be on with you guys real quick. We're going to do a quick rapid fire Q&A. If you guys don't know, Megan, she is a Blue Diamond leader on our team in doTERRA. So she brings a lot of great info with her as well today, and we'll take your questions for about 15 minutes. But before I do that, I have the 3 winners to announce, and I will post them in the comments below this broadcast to make sure that they have seen that they have won. But I did a scavenger hunt over the last couple of days using the doTERRA magazine. So we have a lot of really spammy people on Periscope this morning. So the spammier people are on earlier in the morning. Go back to bed, people. So anyway, I've been doing a scavenger hunt with the Leadership magazine that I announced a couple of days ago. We had 190 of you play the game with us, and I wanted to announce the 3 winners, okay? So drum roll. The 3 winners: Jillian Brown from Victoria, BC, Tara Bedett from Burlington, and Peggy Mile from Ingersoll. Yay. So actually all Canadians won the giveaway 3 AromaTouch kits. So yeah, Sarah, it might be choppy. I'm streaming from both devices, so I just wanted to be able to get the broadcast out. But I will post the recording after, so it's a little bit clearer. So we wanted to go into just some rapid fire Q&A, anything about health, wealth, business, being an entrepreneur. Oh, did it end over here? Yeah, it might have chopped out. So, technique about dry brushing. So that's the first question I see posted on Periscope there. And the cleanse, yes. Hi, Ashley. Yeah, we've got our supplement.
Hey.
Yeah, I see that it's choppy on Facebook. So I'm going to keep going on Periscope if you guys want to hop over there. So dry skin brushing. Someone has a question about the Young Living and doTERRA trial. Blood sugar protocol for such a life contains oregano to hold off. Okay, so let me take a couple of your questions and then you can repost. So dry skin brushing, you've heard me talk about it before, and it's basically a technique of moving the lymph through the body and opening up the pores in the skin. And it's very cleansing. It helps your body release the toxins that it's doing on a normal everyday basis. And Dry skin brushing I started doing years ago. Do you do it?
Yeah.
You got any routine?
I try to do it, every other day pretty much.
Yeah,
or
when you remember.
When I remember.
I think it's smart. It's one of those things, it takes a couple extra minutes. Ideally, you're doing it right before you shower. It's really ideal if you have a sauna, if you're doing something where you can sweat. So some of you might have access to saunas at a gym, or you might even have one in your home. Doing dry skin brushing before that is really great. Looks like we're back up over on Facebook, but it's a little touch and go there. So yes, I have talked about my sauna before and my routine with that. And dry skin brushing is one of the things I do before I do that. And it opens up the pores. And you can go back to YouTube and watch a video I did years ago. It was one of my very first YouTube videos on how to dry skin brush.
I think it might be my favorite video.
Yeah, I'm like total amateur build. But we all start somewhere, right? So
Absolutely.
that's why I keep it up. So dry skin brushing, you're starting basically at your feet, okay? And you're moving in the direction of your heart always, and you're doing, you can either do firm kind of brush strokes or little circles, and you want to get a natural bristled brush, and you brush in the direction of your heart. So if you're working on your feet, that's an easy area to just keep working upwards and then once you get to your chest, you can lightly brush towards the heart. And you'll love it, you guys. It's actually one of the best rituals. People that I take through cleanse programs, they love adopting that into their routine. And when it comes to using them with oils, I actually love to put a drop of like frankincense or DDR prime. I will put it right on the brush, and then as I'm brushing, it's working its way into the skin as I'm opening up the pores. So I personally like to do that. And yeah, it is kind of addicting in the best way. And like I said, next level would be having access to a sauna. You know, if you're really passionate about upgrading your health, there are investments you'll make over the course of the next 5 years. You know, maybe you're saving up to have a sauna in your home because you've been studying the benefits of infrared, and it's a wonderful thing to have. We saved for a while to get one, and we put one in our home last year. Hi, Ashley. And it's a great thing to have. So it takes our health to the next level for sure. And I love using my oils with the sauna as well. I did talk about that on a past broadcast before. Just using oils such as Zendocrine, which is it's a very cleansing blend that doTERRA creates, and you can roll that across your liver or bottom of your feet. If you're somebody who feels as though you might be high in heavy metals, perhaps you've had amalgam fillings removed in the past, that's a common concern people have. Cilantro is really great at helping to purify the blood, and so you would want to put that on your feet when you go into the sauna. I will do a blog post on that, so that all the info can be in one place, because it's a common question that I do receive.
Yeah, we love our sauna.
Yes,
use my
Megan
oils all the
has one
time.
too.
Dry brush, all that fun stuff.
Do you use arbor vitae in it ever?
Yes.
It smells like a cedar, right? Yummy.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I saw a question asking about the Young Living doTERRA trial. I'm not going to comment too much on that right now. I will in the future. It's nearing the end of the trial, and everything will be online. And so what I basically want to say to that question is the truth always works its way out. And you've seen that emerge within this case. For those of you that have ever looked at either company, Young Living for a very long time has been accusing doTERRA of stealing their oils, stealing their recipes, you name it. Young Living has come at doTERRA many times over the last 5 years, and recently in the last few weeks there have been some very damaging things that were released in the trial about Young Living, and it's all going to be online. So I don't think you need to go looking for reason to talk about this, because it's all going to be very accessible. Those of you building a doTERRA business, just keep in your game, keep building your beautiful business. There's a reason doTERRA is the largest essential oil company in the world. And so I think that would be my advice to that. I don't want to see this question come up every single week, because it's such an easy conversation to have and for yourselves to get drawn into having. The most important thing is to know who you are and know what kind of business you're a part of, and know you're in the right place if you are building doTERRA. And
stay focused on your business.
Yeah.
And stay focused to what you're true to, and just keep doing what you're doing. Don't focus the energy there. Focus the energy on what's.
It's tempting. It's tempting to get distracted and think about what everyone else is doing, but this is a good lesson in the truth always comes out, right? Hi, Jenny. I must live under a rock, or Diamond Club kept me too busy because I've never heard about this. Awesome. You're winning.
Yeah, that's,
you know? You're
that's
not
the best.
stuck in that. All right, what other questions do you guys have? We'll do about 10 minutes. Facebook was dropping quite a bit. Your gym just opened and the fumes from the new floor make you sick. Any oils that can help with toxins? Ask your gym to open those windows. This is the same as our own homes, you guys. The EPA assesses that homes are at least 5 times more toxic than the outside air because of what we bring into them. So that's an interesting problem, to be going to a gym where you're seeking health and it's making you even sicker. So I would, be the person that demands change. If you are investing in a gym, you are their customer. They're going to want to do better for you. So ask them to open their windows, get them diffusing some oils that are going to cleanse the air. And oils, you guys, if you're brand new to essential oils, they are not fragrance. They're the complete opposite of fragrance. So I would talk with the gym. I think if for example, I don't know if you're building a doTERRA business, but what a great opportunity to educate and start leading some sessions there to help people create a healthier environment. You don't need to come at this conversation attacking them in any way, right? You can just approach it like, did you know that we can do other things with our cleaning so we're not, putting more chemicals in the air? And obviously with a gym, the flooring, a lot of the machines are going to be off-gassing for years, just like they do in our own homes. So there are ways, opening the windows is the best way to get around it. Facebook, I don't know if you can hear us still over there. I know it was a little bit choppy, so.
Frozen there.
Hubby has a business. I would love to incorporate oils into his painting company in a way. I actually just saw a really interesting thread in one of the mastermind groups I'm a part of people adding oils to their paint before they use it. Now you can get very low VOC. VOC stands for volatile organic compounds, and you can also get no VOC. So we explored that for our home we're building right now. But I think the interesting thing with essential oils is there's not a single person on the planet that wouldn't benefit from using oils, and you can get so niche with your business. If you, like you said, your husband, he owns a painting business. So you could look at so many cool ways to incorporate that into the homes that are your customers. So if your husband paints someone's home, a nice gift would be to set them up with a diffuser that helps to cleanse their home. A lot of real estate agents will do that. So a common oil people add, I saw in this group, was Purify. They'll add that and they'll stir it right into the paint. They were doing about 20 drops for a gallon. So I haven't done this myself, but it'd be something kind of interesting to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. I think when I talk to people, I always end up leaving conversations at times feeling like, wow, that's a great idea they have, that they could go really deep on, and just be super niche with it. Like with pets, for example, how many of you are really passionate about working with animals? Because that is a whole area. I mean, horses and dogs in particular are so drawn to essential oils that if you're somebody who's very passionate about them, then you could build a whole business helping people with connecting with their pets. Mm-hmm. What platform do I use to share information with my team and builders? I use Google Docs heavily. So I have Google everything. Google toolkits I've created on education for my team. So if they have a question about using oils with pets, I have a pet toolkit. Same for the business. We have sampling toolkits, follow-up toolkits. So I use Google because the reason I love it is as I update it and edit it, they are always seeing the most current information on their end, and it's free. If you're not, I would get familiar with Google because it's a great way to communicate with your team. As opposed to creating documents that are in PDF version, then you're always having to post the new PDF, whereas the Google will stay active. So, for example, some of you that I have worked with in the past, I've probably sent you to my Getting Started Guide with oils, and it's a Google Doc that I update every month with promos, and as things kind of shift, as we create different and higher value for our community, I'll add that into the Getting Started Guide. So the customer on the other end is always seeing the most up-to-date version. How do you like to communicate with your team?
Same.
Yeah.
Same.
Facebook as well, right?
Facebook, Google Docs, yeah.
We use Facebook a lot on our total team to build community and
then things like Zoom. We use a lot of Zoom, so I do a lot of Zoom calls with my team.
Yeah.
That's been a really great platform for us, and a lot of my leaders on my team are doing the same thing. So
yeah, I think there's not one most effective system. People today, they prefer to learn, and they kind of live on Facebook, right? That's the preferred way for people to learn about things going on in the world today. People aren't turning on the news anymore, at least not the millennials. They're finding out things through text, through Facebook, through Twitter. Like this is how people are learning today. So you have to be there in that space. And Facebook for community building and communication, and then Google for the actual content sharing. That's been my preferred way for the last 4 years.
And I think it really comes down to what you're comfortable with too. Like if the computer stresses you out, or if Google stresses you out, find a system that works for you. Know your comfort level. I know me personally, when I first started building my doTERRA business, I was very overwhelmed with all of the different information and resources that we had. And I just had to kind of take a step back and say, this is what works for me. And even though everyone else is doing this, or maybe my upline's doing this, I had to really figure out what works for me. And, we
were talking about this just last night. We were talking about some of the ideas we see out there for creating more engagement with your team. And we were talking about how sometimes you see all these ideas and you get stuck in that comparison trap. And it's not the right idea for you if you feel this anxiety.
It's like an anxiety that comes over. It's like, that's a great idea, but I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
And I would love to go there, but that's not me. And so you take that idea, and actually it was funny because I slept on it after talking, and I woke up with this awesome idea on how I'm going to implement something that was similar to what I was stressed about.
Oh, cool.
That I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do it my way, and that's the beauty of this business, and that's the beauty of doing what we're doing and being entrepreneurs and having our own businesses, is that our own business, so we can run it the way we want to. So
amen. That's one of the things this business is so awesome for, is there is no rule book for you. There is no leader doing it so perfectly that you have to duplicate everything they're doing. So you've got to do you. You've got to do what works for you. And if it feels heavy and it creates anxiety, like Megan, we were talking about last night, this idea, I was like, yeah, it's a great idea, but it makes me feel like anxious about doing it. It's not the right time for that idea. There will, and she actually figured it out in her sleep.
Yeah,
she woke up with
okay, I know what I need to do.
The evolved idea, which is awesome. I saw some questions come up there. I didn't catch on Periscope. We talk about this a lot on here. It's important for you to know what's for you and what's not. One of the most common things people feel when they get started building a business of any kind is they get stuck thinking they have to know everything about everything before they actually get started. Like, tap the screen if you've ever been in that Stuckville, where you think that you can't get out to teach that class. Facebook, hop over to Periscope if you'd like. It's really choppy. Someone just commented my upline's in a different state and I'm just starting the business and it's overwhelming. So the thing to understand is having any kind of like upline structure support where you have people who can guide you is so cool. It's such a blessing, but you're in this on your own, right? Like, you are an entrepreneur. Welcome to being in business for yourself. So any kind of guidance you have above you is a bonus, and I would really look at it that way. I get people messaging me every week saying, Ange, I really want to hop over to your team. I'm not getting supported. My new response to them is, it's not that you're not getting supported, it's because you're not supporting yourself. What we're feeling and what we wish people were giving us is actually a mirror of where we're not doing it for ourselves. You have to understand, there is no right way, there is no perfect team, there is no upline system that's going to do this for you. You have to figure out what works for you. It's going to allow your message and your way of connecting with people to happen in the best way. And it doesn't look a certain way. It doesn't look like Facebook for some people. It doesn't look like teaching essential oil classes for some people. For some people, it's grabbing their kit of oils and going to Starbucks and sitting with someone and connecting one-on-one. There are people who have built entire diamond businesses in doTERRA that way. They've never done classes. There are people who are very good at connecting in the online space, and they do it so well. And sometimes you'll see those people and you think, okay, they did it well online. That looks a lot easier. I could be home with my kids and never have to get out and teach a class. But you don't see all the work that happened before they learned how to connect online in an authentic way. All that work, all the failures. There is no easy way to it. You have to do your way.
You have to be you. Be authentic. Yeah. And, you know, when I first started building my doTERRA business, I tried to be Ange. And I love Ange. And the thing is, my business started to blossom when I became me. And I did me. And I did me well. And I think that's when people connected with me. So you have to know that even if you have an upline that's incredible, you have to still, you take those tidbits and you make them, you create the team that you want, and you create the business that you want and what works for you. Yeah. And even if you don't have an upline that's really like you're not connected with, you know, still use their mentorship, but take that and really create something. It's an opportunity for you to be you.
100%. And the thing is, your leaders are probably doing that a little bit with you now, and this is a very normal part of the process. We want to look to people who have gone first. We want to see, okay, what can I take from their experience? Where can I learn from their success? And that's a great thing to do. It's a great thing to be a follower and a student of successful people, but not get stuck in that state for too long, and don't take on their story as yours. You have to know when it's time to cut the cord and really build your business. Now, some of you don't have a goal of building a business. Some of you would like to, for example, in doTERRA, some of you, the majority of you, actually would like to just have your oils, your healthy living, your healthy lifestyle covered, and you want to build a very nice little community. Maybe your vision for your business is to have your whole neighborhood, your community, and you live this lifestyle together. Maybe your vision is not to go to Diamond, right? You will enjoy having strong leaders in your upline that you are always plugging people into. That will be your jam. But if you're somebody who wants to be a leader, you feel like you've been called to be a leader, there is something you want to get behind in your life and be part of a cause. I'll answer that question about placements in a second. Then you're somebody who's going to have to decide when you're going to cut that cord and really make it your own. There was a question about placements and whether to seek guidance on that. Absolutely. So regardless of what team you're on, whatever point you're at in your business, you have an upline. So you would want to go to your back office in doTERRA and click upline listing, and you'll find scatters of people who are building. You will find at least one presidential diamond in your upline. Okay, so you'll want to reach up until you find somebody who can provide you training or a video or hop on a call with you to go over your structure. Because if you want to build this business, you need to be smart about structure. You need to be a smart business person, and don't just be out there sharing oils and not actually creating a solid business as you grow. So you will want to get help with that. I don't generally give placements advice on this broadcast because how I trained my team might be very different than how your upline's training your team. I made a ton of mistakes in the beginning, so a lot of our team now is growing and being able to use that wisdom of what not to do. So that's a blessing, but you will have somebody who can guide you for sure. When you have a first level builder fall off, do you place another builder directly under them? It depends on the volume in that leg, to be honest. If you have somebody who's on your front line and they decide to just, quit, or I'm not sure what the involvement was at that point, but I will usually say if they have anywhere from, 800 plus volume under them, it's likely worth trying to salvage that leg and put a builder somewhere in that leg. Otherwise, you're walking away from that volume.
I think too, having very crucial conversations with these people that are in these positions, because if it's someone that is really not wanting to build a business and they've got quite a bit of volume underneath them, I think jumping on a call with them, take them out for coffee, and just figuring out where they're at. Get them to sign the transfer form. If they don't want to build this business and they're not placing $100 LRPs anymore, get them to sign the transfer form so that you can slot a builder in there. That would be a big suggestion. Or even if they've got like some teams underneath them or people that you are building underneath them, This would be a good point to say, like, would you want to go inactive?
Mm-hmm.
Have them go inactive for 6 months and move them. And if you've got already 2 legs that are structured underneath them, guess what happens? Those legs both roll up to your front line. So you can utilize, like, you have to kind of really, really be smart with placements and really be smart with structure and get to know and have, your upline teach you the ins and the outs, because, this might be an awesome spot to, either take somebody out of that spot so people roll up.
And this actually worked in your favor. Share with them what rank you went to because of that.
Oh my goodness. If you guys knew the situation that had happened. I actually had my 3 leaders, and one of my leaders decided this wasn't for her, and she didn't want to do it anymore. She was a good friend of mine, and I had started to build underneath her, and so I had placed a lot of people. We had a builder emerge, and that girl became my qualifying leg, and she's amazing. She's an amazing leader. I love having her on my team. But then as time went on, other legs and other leaders started to emerge under this girl's 3 legs. And she wasn't building, she wasn't placing $100 LRP orders. So I called her up and I said, hey, come have coffee with me. I want to sit and chat with you. And so the conversation went, how's your doTERRA business going? And I said, you know what? It's going awesome. But, I know you're not building. And I have a huge favor to ask of you. Would there be the possibility of you going inactive? So then that way, and I'll cover your oils. You tell me what you want. I will buy whatever oils you want. Mm-hmm. And if I can get you to sign this termination form, and we will re-enroll you and place you in another spot. And then this way, there's no pressure for you to build. But what's happening is you're actually debilitating my business right now, because you're in a spot where I actually have a team really growing underneath you, and they need my support. And she went, absolutely, anything for you, Megs. Like, she's a good friend, and I'm very lucky to have her as a friend. And so she signed out of this spot. And I actually had her eliminated in January, February. Mm-hmm. And what happened was I had 3 leaders roll to my front line.
So she had to stop ordering for 6 months.
She had to cancel her LRP, stop ordering for 6 months.
They have to go inactive for 6 months, and then they can actually call doTERRA, and their account will be removed if they're not a silver or above.
And what we did was we actually did an exceptions form. So I actually wanted to get her removed quicker than the 6 months, and exceptions actually agreed to move her after 4. So by having this happen, so I had a very solid platinum organization, but by having this happened, and as soon as she was moved out, I had 3 legs move up, and I hit diamond that month. And then 3 months later, I hit blue. So I had a really unique situation happen with my organization. But again,
they're asking about exception forms, so that's kind of a next level thing. But generally, people have to go inactive for 6 months in order for their account to be removed.
Yeah.
But you can request an exception from doTERRA. It's not a guarantee.
No,
okay?
Nothing's guaranteed.
I get turned down for exceptions a lot.
And I've been turned down too, and I think this was just a very rare situation, because this leader was willing to sign this form and really state that she did not want to build and that she wanted out. Exceptions looked at that and did give me that 2-month leeway of bringing her out a little bit earlier. Again, that's up to exceptions.
But this is a great example of something that felt heavy turning into a huge win. Mm-hmm. And so this is why, looking at your business every couple of months with someone who's active in your upline is really helpful, because you can see, okay, how are things going? Where is this going? And really plan for that next level. Okay.
Mm-hmm. It's really important to really understand structure and placements and really understand your organization, because there's things that will pop up that you can really, like, I can look at things, I have a good eye for it, and I'm teaching my leaders how to have that eye for it as well. And so really, like, if you're having a hard time with structure and placements, please, like, reach out to your upline, or go into that list and find out who your active diamond, blue diamond, or presidential is, so they can help guide you.
I'll take 2 more questions. The one question I just saw, and thank you, that was a great advice, very helpful.
You're welcome.
One of the questions someone just asked was around incentives. So I would like to encourage you to not be that person who is offering the whole kitchen sink with an enrollment. We see these people online, right? Like we can all think of somebody right now where you see them they're always offering to throw in all this product. And I want to ask you, there are people who need an incentive at times in order to actually make themselves worth purchasing the oils. Mm-hmm. There are people who they would never enroll because of an incentive, because they actually their worthiness is high enough, they value themselves enough to know the essential oils are going to change their life. They would not enroll with you because you're offering a free diffuser. But there is that group of people, and this is why doTERRA runs BOGOs a few times a year, because they know that there are people who they don't value the product and themselves enough yet, right? There's a lot of people in the world like this, that they need the sale in order to actually make it happen. So I do not advocate as a leader for posting incentives online. In the beginning of my business, I would do things from time to time online, but what I started to feel, A, it doesn't duplicate, right? And B, if a presidential diamond leader is posting, join me and I'll give you $5,000 to build your business with me, they can do that because they can afford that. A brand new elite leader could never do that. And doTERRA really discourages this, okay? When you see leaders doing this, it is not something doTERRA likes or encourages. So what you want to be doing is, if you're offering incentives, you want to take that offline, because you don't want to create a situation where everyone in doTERRA is seeing what you're offering. If you're buying people to enroll with you, if you're offering them money to enroll with you, whether that's in the form of product or scholarships or education or whatever, you're marketing yourself in such a way like, if you join me, you will be the most successful because I'm going to do all this for you and all that for you. It really creates this feeling in doTERRA of dissension. So and competition, and again, a brand new leader is never going to be able to compete with somebody who has that money to do that. So take it offline. There's nothing wrong with offering incentives to your warm market, especially the last few days of the month. My team does this all the time. When they're in a rank up month, they will start to, they will really work with their warm market that they've been talking to for weeks and months to help them seal the deal. So they might throw in, a peppermint roller bottle, or they might run their own BOGOs. Mm-hmm. Sometimes they'll do that off cycle of what doTERRA is offering, but it's offline. Or it can be in your private essential oil community group, but don't do it publicly. I really think, and the most important thing to understand here is doTERRA's oils are so high quality. They are the brand leader in this category, and it dilutes the brand to do that. Do you ever see Apple do a sale? No. Mm-hmm. Apple doesn't do sales. BMW doesn't do sales. Like, they'll do things to get people to come in and create that experience, right? But, you really have to think about what that's doing in the long run. Okay, we'll take one more question. What's the first question to pop up over on Periscope? Facebook, I know we're super choppy over there. We're on the high-rise, 5th floor of a hotel.
The 5th floor. We're up high.
High-rise.
Yeah, the high-rise.
Wondering how you looked to up-level your support for all the leaders on your team for trainings and Zooms. Okay, I'm just trying to see if any of the other questions kind of tied into this. My best advice to you when it comes to serving your team is let them guide you. And this is ultimately what Megs and I were talking about last night when she was saying, I hear these great ideas about doing this and that, but it feels heavy. I don't think it's the right way for me to lead my team. You always know, because these are your people. This is your community. So listen to them. And when I was growing, I didn't really look upwards to see what everyone else was doing. I looked at what my team was saying to me. I was looking at what they were saying they were feeling challenged in. I was looking at where the blocks were. And then I would create. I would look to solve that problem for them in some way. So I would ask your team, start there, because they will be the ones that, you might see other leaders doing things, you might launch them, and your team could care less, and it's not really helping them. So ask them, maybe do a survey. If you've never done this, create a Google form. Go to Google Forms and create a little questionnaire and post it to your community. Maybe you do a couple giveaways to get people to actually get excited about filling it in, but post a questionnaire asking them, various questions, like how is their journey going so far? You can do one for your customers and one for your builders. Ask them what they would most like to see come out of this experience for them, whether they're building or using the oils, and then use their responses to decide what you as the leader need to do next, because that's what you do. You are, as a leader, you're going first. You're you're creating something that actually doesn't already exist. You can plug people into systems and trainings all the time, but if you're attracting people to you that really need like mindset work, then you posting how to duplicate classes in the perfect way makes no sense. Or you adopting a system which teaches sales trainings doesn't make any sense when the people you're attracting have a low belief in themselves and need more work on the mindset. You need to work with, a coach. You need to maybe like hire energy worker sessions for your team, right? You need to just be aware of like what is your team needing and what aren't they needing. And for those that are more disengaged, you let them go. So you be kind through that experience with them. You check in with them from time to time. But this business, you guys, is so good that you need to let go of the energy and the attachment you have to people who don't do it, because it is so good that the more you can stay focused on your business and attracting the people who see that, they're going to run with it regardless of even what you do. How many of you, I'm curious, just before we go, how many of you are having success in your business and you finally started to have success in your business because you let go of that heavy expectation and energy and comparing yourself to others and started to just do you?
Where's the heart?
Are you tapping?
I'm tapping.
Right? A lot of you are commenting when you finally understood that, okay, so this is actually my business. And there are people that are going to come and go. There are always going to be people that are going to come and go. There have been people within my own team that I thought would access their potential more fully and a little faster. And I have people who have quit on themselves multiple times. But this is their work. This is the work only they can do. And I've never had somebody that had that full potential to be amazing in this business actually quit. People take rest periods. Some people get stuck on a level where they need to spend more time. And I shouldn't say stuck. They need to be there because there is work that they're doing, personal growth that's happening. They're not quite ready for that next level. I love knowing that everything is happening for us, always. Not against us, not to us. It is always happening for us. So regardless of where you are in your business, just know you're actually meant to be right here. Mm-hmm. Because if you force it, and you could buy your way and force your way and fight your way into that next goal, but you're going to fail when you do it that way. And it's not going to feel good, most importantly. This business is about joy, you guys. And so back to that question that came up about people who are disengaged, that's okay, because we all have them. But don't let that disengage you. You stay focused on your business and staying in the state of helping people, and they'll come.
And focus where the energy is. Like, where the people that are needing the help, that are ready to go, that are ready to run, that are ready to work, that's where your energy needs to go. And if those people that, you're trying to pull them, you're trying to drag them, it's just bringing you down. And, ultimately they have to want it for themselves. And they, you still check in. I still always check in. If people are kind of like, they're disengaged, I'm not going to sit there every week trying to get a hold of them. I'll reach out to them every once in a while. How are things going? What can I do? What can I do to support you? And sometimes it's crickets. And you know what? Then I move on.
I love what Danette just said. She said, when I stopped making excuses and looking to blame and went inward, she had incredible success come.
Mm. Yeah, so good.
Okay. All right. We got to go, you guys. I just want to read off the 3 winners one more time in case they didn't hop on in the beginning, and I'll comment so they see it. So our 3 winners for the scavenger hunt. All of you have won an Aroma Touch kit, okay, from that online magazine, and we had almost 200 people play the game. That was fun to do. Jillian Brown from Victoria, BC, Tara Bedett from Burlington, Ontario, and Peggy Mile from Ingersoll, Ontario. So congrats, and I'll post those comments. I've got your shipping addresses, so we're good to go there. But thank you guys, and wishing you the most amazing, joyful summer. Keep in mind, if you are doing, thank you, Steph. If you are doing doTERRA as a business, if you are a business owner of any kind, remember why you're doing this in the first place. it's okay to rest. It's okay to take the pause button and to take time away to refocus and become inspired. Inspired people will always inspire a team. So you don't need to keep the pedal down full force in the summer if it feels more aligned for you to say no to some things and create the space for you to grow and let it sink in. It's like working out, right? You tear down the muscle a little bit and you need to take time for it to repair and rest and rebuild, and you get stronger over time. So enjoy this summer. Remember why you're doing this business in the first place. But stay in flow. Don't quit on your business. Learn how to rest, but still have some momentum happening so it doesn't feel like you're always starting over. And what that might look like is instead of teaching a class every week, maybe you're doing a class every month, but maybe you plan a big community event in the summer. Have a barbecue. Bring your locals together to meet with their families. And that is a different type of growth that's going to happen for you in your team and in your business. So get creative, but think about how you can really honor your why you're doing this business in the first place. And I think summer is a great time to do that. And people still want to learn about oils, you guys. You want to get creative around how you share them. Have a barbecue, have your team over, do backyard classes. It's fun, but honor your why. Okay, we'll see you in September. So I'll be on and off, but thank you, my dear friend, for joining us today.
Thanks for having me on.
And we will see you guys soon, okay? Sorry for the choppiness over on Facebook, but we got her done. We'll get that recording posted. Mwah.